So just start there and then just pull back and find me, basically. So, but hey, look, they're not going to be out for ages. Don't worry about it. Just hang. It's cool. What? Oh, yeah, no, new year, new me. You know, I'm reading a different newspaper every day. While some universities are banning newspapers they don't like, I've decided to read them. Call me old-fashioned, so it's the Daily Racist on a Friday, Guardian on a Saturday, because, you know, who doesn't? I mean, you've got to wade through its preachy, thinly veiled Blairite agenda, but I quite like Polly Toynbee. Sunday Times on a Sunday, obviously. I know it's owned by one of the worst people on the planet, but it's my favourite dump of the week. Sunday Times, mug of tea, big fat smelly shit. Feel like your dad. UKIP wank mag of choice, The Telegraph on a Monday, the FT on a Tuesday, seriously, don't bother. The Eye on a Wednesday. I used to like The Independent, and now it's just a comic and a clickbait website, which is a shame. And on a Thursday, in the interest of balance, The Sun and The Mirror. I used to take the Beano and the Dandy as a kid. So, well, the Beano would be The Sun. Well, Dennis the Menace, he's pretty right-wing. He's a queer basher. Used to beat the shit out of Walter the Softie. It's been an interesting, you know, exercise, actually. There's something good to be said for reading what people you disagree with read, even if it just confirms, you know, your own stance, you know. And if you don't, you end up arguing against things that don't exist. So, and all of them agree on one thing. The importance of freedom of the press. But the Culture Secretary, I don't know, you know about this, he wants to make it compulsory for all media outlets to sign up to you know, a state regulator. All right, well, a royal charter, a state-sponsored and approved regulator, financed by well-known impartial fetishist Max Mosley. And if they don't sign up to it, Section 30 means if they're sued, they have to pay the costs no matter what. So the press are basically being blackmailed into signing up to it. And everyone thinks it's a great idea. But, you know, I don't know, Tim. Look, we've had press freedom in this country for 300 years. Do you know what the price you pay for that is? The Daily Bigot. That's the fucking deal, yeah. And look, I know why people are angry and upset by it, and I know this isn't a fashionable view, but hacking a murdered girl's phone or kicking Hugh Grant's door in, it's never been legal. These regulations, they won't make it more illegal. There's already a system in place to stop those horrible things happening. It's called the law. If a journalist or a newspaper breaks the law, send them to prison. And if they're not in prison, ask yourself why. Maybe it's because the people involved are best mates with the Prime Minister at the time. You know, the government and the press should be kept apart. This legislation, it brings them close together. And look, I know something needs to be done. By all means, tighten libel and privacy laws and make access to legal aid easier if the press are fucking you about. But infringing on press freedoms, I just don't buy it as a viable solution. Freedom of the press within the law it's the hallmark of a civilized society, no matter how uncivilized the press may be, you know. It's intrinsically linked with freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And you know me when it comes to freedom of speech, Tim, it is an immovable right. Yeah, as long as you do it within the law, you should be able to express your opinion no matter what. Okay, that is the definition of a free society. If the press do something illegal, prosecute them. If the press say something nasty, you just, sorry, grow up. Yeah, and silencing someone's illiberal views is illiberal, you know. So everyone's got a right to speak, Tim. So, you know, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to read.